It is time, baby. Welcome back, everybody, to the road to NBA 2K25. And of course, we got more NBA 2K25 news for you. It's your boy Stax. Of course, we got my guy Evan over here as well. Evan, what's good, brother?
What's up, Stax? Happy Thursday. And in case you all weren't here last week, these streams are the first place to see our NBA 2K25 reveals. So as most of you know, today we're going to be talking about MyPlayer and MyCAREER, which also includes badges and takeovers on NBA 2K25 New Gen. And before we get too far, just remember, whenever we say New Gen, we are talking about PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, which is also on the New Gen version of NBA 2K25 this year.
Man, Evan, I'm not gonna lie, man. I remember being on the other side of this, right, where I was just a creator and having the feel. I still have those same feelings, is what I'm saying, when it comes to announce for NBA 2K every single year. I still get excited as if I'm finding out a lot of this information for the first time. A lot of this stuff we already seen before. But man, if you didn't know already, we do have Twitch drops enabled for this stream. You can earn a locker code in NBA 2K24 just by watching the stream. So if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching it on Twitter or X, make sure you come over here to Twitch because you cannot earn Twitch drops on those other platforms. Okay. And Evan will explain how it works a little bit because you know we got Evan GPT. We got everything stored up in here.
Yes, we do. All right, so we're going to go through this again at the end of the show because most of you right now are not going to have 90 minutes watched. But once you tune in for 90 minutes across our drop-enabled streams of the road to NBA 2K25, you will earn a locker code in NBA 2K24, giving you the rewards you see here in MyCAREER and My Team. And this is 90 minutes across multiple shows, starting with gameplay reveal last Thursday, then MyPlayer and MyCAREER today, and then in the coming weeks, we'll have more drop-enabled streams for MyNBA, The W, and My Team. So enough of that, though. Everybody's asking in the chat, are we going to see the builder? Yes, we are. That's exactly what MyPlayer means. Ooh. So with that said, I think we can get on with that.
Yes,
Alexis
sir. Yes,
and LD
sir.
have been talking to our dev team for this year's Courtside Reports to get the rundown on what's new in NBA 2K25. So today we've got an interview for you that LD did with Zach and Mark from our dev team that's going to take you through what's new with MyPlayer and MyCAREER. Stacks.
Oh, although we was running the trailer. Okay, my bad. we all know. We all have questions. It's everything like that. So if you want to ask some questions, make sure you go to our Discord, man. We always talk about our Discord. It's a lot of people there that play NBA 2K, but we also have some devs in there around this time answering a few questions. So make sure you go to our 2K25 question official Discord. And just go to the link to our Discord right there, discord.gg/NBA2K. And you can submit your questions and maybe someone will take the time to answer them. But go ahead and ask all of your questions there on Discord, okay? And after this, make sure you stick.
They want you to get on with it. Come on.
My bad, bro. I know a lot of people, now y'all don't want me to stall. All right, anyway. And after this, make sure you stick around because we're going to take you through the dev blog as well for even more detail. But let's go ahead and finally show that courtside report. I know y'all want to see the build. This sort of.
Welcome back to our next NBA 2K25 courtside report. Today I'm joined by Zach Timmerman, principal producer on NBA 2K25, as well as Mark Little, MyCAREER developer. Zach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Now there is so much to talk about for NBA 2K25. This is where fans can live out their hoop dreams and build their legacy like never before. Before we get into MyCAREER, let's talk about the MyPlayer Builder.
When you're building your MyPlayer, you're not just building a legacy this year, you're also building a dynasty for your team. And we understand this is a very integral moment, a very important decision. And so we put a lot of time into ensuring that the various paths that we have in the builder are gonna allow all walks of our gamers to be able to make the player that they wanna make. To create your own, it's the builder where you just have so many options, changing your position, changing your size. You can articulate through every single one of your attributes and get to right where you want to go with your builder, all while you can see the various perks that your player is eventually going to be equipped with. Ultimately, it's the builder where somebody who wants to mess around with the thousands of possibilities can eventually make the build that they want to. We also have our pro build making veterans that have been playing the game for a long time, they're probably going to want to jump in there as well. There's also another group that wants to jump in there to try to make a unique build that nobody else in the world has made.
This sounds really intriguing. One thing I loved about last year was community members submitting their builds and you guys implementing them into the game. Are those returning this year?
The community builds feature that we had last year, it was really exciting. It was really nice to grab the best build makers that we have out there, be able to have them put their build in the game. Ultimately, people, when they would grab these builds, they felt like they could instantly compete and play with the best gamers out there. They'll be available season 2. We'll be dropping new ones each season with the intention of giving you access to the latest and greatest play styles that are out there.
A lot of new features coming with this new builder system, Zach. What else can you share about creating your MyPlayer in 2K25?
In each of these builder paths, there's access to more information than we've ever given you before. You'll see which badges you qualify for, you'll see which takeovers you qualify for in our new takeover system, and you'll also be able to see which animations your player will qualify for. Ultimately, it's going to give you a really good feel for whether or not the player is going to move and react the way that you want to through the animation system.
I love all that, but I especially love the new takeover system.
Takeovers back in a new way this year. We have 70 takeovers and 14 special abilities. In the builder, you can see which takeovers you qualify for. Once you get into MyCAREER, you can swap your takeovers in and out. They all have attribute requirements that determine whether or not you're able to equip these takeovers. Once you get into the game, you're gonna see your takeover meter. There's 5 levels to your takeover, and it's kind of like 5 levels of hotness. Once you hit level 5, the special ability turns on, and that allows you to kind of dominate the game for a short period of time.
Okay, 70 takeovers. What are some of your favorites?
I think the one that I've been gravitating towards the most is barbecue chicken. If you're a hoop head, you know what that name means. It means you're about to put somebody in the post and turn them into a rag doll. It boosts throughout the levels of takeover. It boosts your post control, your shot close, and your strength. And then when the special ability turns on, it turns on deep post bag, which essentially allows you to completely dominate the post, again, for a short period of time, in shots, back downs, every post move you can think of. So it's a lot of fun for somebody who likes to play in the post.
What can you tell us about badges in 2K25?
This year we have 40 badges. They're a lot more all-encompassing than they have been in the past. Each one of them has a larger impact. And so we're really happy with the badge allotment that we have right now. We feel like we've hit every part of basketball that's important. And ultimately, we're accentuating everybody's play style with these badges.
One other thing I want to talk about is badge progression.
Badge progression is basically how often are you using your badge. The more often you use the badge, the faster it's going to progress. Ultimately, though, if you don't use your badge this year, you won't regress, which I'm sure our fans are pretty happy about.
So it sounds like badges are completely reworked this year in 2K25.
Yeah, so this year we introduced a new level of badge called Legend. It's a level above Hall of Fame. It's pretty difficult to get. You have to raise your attributes pretty high, but ultimately, you know, it really allows you to dominate in that area of the game.
Zach, I'm excited. Can't wait to get my hands on the builder. Thanks for all the new details. And for all of you, stay connected to the NBA 2K25 Courtside Report, where you can learn all about the new MyPlayer Builder. Now we know about all the new exciting features in the MyPlayer Builder, but it's time to learn about MyCAREER. I'm joined by Mark Little. Let's jump right in. What's new in MyCAREER for NBA 2K25?
MyCAREER in NBA 2K25 is all about building the greatest dynasty in NBA history. You're MyPlayer this year, growing up outside of Chicago, and like his idol, Michael Jordan, he wants to build a dynasty that lasts throughout the ages. You can learn about your MyPlayer's history and his path to the NBA through an optional flashback story called The Heart of the Dynasty, which you get to relive 4 of his most iconic games in his pre-NBA career, including a high school state championship, a FIBA U19 World Cup, and even an open run with some NBA players where one of the players is not so happy MP got invited. And all these games are available for you to play right away. You can play them at any point in your career, but if you really want to just jump right into your NBA career and start building your dynasty, you can do that too.
So let's talk about creating your own dynasty in MyCAREER.
Last year, we introduced the GOAT ranking system. And in that, you're able to see your MyPlayer rise up through the rankings and ultimately become the GOAT. This year, we're adding a Dynasty Rankings, which is more about your team's performance and less about your personal achievements. So we've ranked the 9 greatest dynasties in NBA history. And as your team does stuff like deep playoff runs, winning championships, you'll see them rise the Dynasty Rankings until ultimately they get to the #1 spot and displace Michael Jordan's Bulls.
Last year, you came in with GOAT level hype. So what kind of prospect is MP in 2K25?
This year, MP is not a GOAT level hype. You're gonna have to earn your position in the starting lineup. And if the player in front of you is really good, it's gonna be even harder. This will definitely be one of your first obstacles as you try to build your dynasty.
So it sounds like I gotta earn my place in the starting lineup. What does the flow look like in MyCAREER? Is it key games, every game?
key games are back this year, and we're really excited about the improvements we've made. This year, you have a lot of control about which key games you play. We've divided the season into 2 halves, and in each half, you'll meet with your coach and GM and select a personal goal. The personal goal you pick is what determines the key games you play. We've even tiered the matchup system, so if your MP is still at a lower level, you'll match up against lower level NBA players, but if you're a 99, you're going to be matched up against the best of the best. If that's not your thing, you could decide you want to try and win the NBA Cup, or maybe you want to focus on winning road games, or maybe in your rookie season you want to show that you're the top rookie in your class. We've even got some key games that are focused entirely about you posterizing other guys. So the personal goals and key games you get to pick from is completely dependent on the build you made, your team you picked, and your current overall. So there's a lot of content depending on the scenario and play style you've picked. And on top of that, if you successfully complete your personal goal in key games, you get an all-new Dynasty badge. So the Dynasty badges you earn help improve your team and shape the Dynasty you're about to make.
This sounds exciting. What about other new features in MyCAREER that you can talk about?
There's a lot more than I'm going to be able to go into here today, but I'll give you a few more of my favorites. So earlier I mentioned you can play a FIBA game in the optional flashback story. Well, you can also play FIBA games in our new revised off-season flow. You'll be able to play FIBA friendlies, FIBA qualifiers, and even a FIBA tournament that you can invite other NBA stars to join you. And speaking of NBA stars, this year we're also adding jersey swaps. So there are optional highlight games on your calendar where you can earn jerseys from players like Jalen Brunson or Victor Wembanyama only if you pass the in-game challenges against their teams. And you're going to want to collect those jerseys because not only can you wear them around the city, but you can also put them on display in your MyCOURT.
You said MyCOURT? MyCOURT is returning?
I can't talk too much about MyCOURT, but I'm confirming MyCOURT is back. We know MyCOURT's been a feature that people have been wanting for a long time, and we're very happy to bring it to 2K25.
All right, MyCOURT, exciting stuff. I can't wait to start building my dynasty in NBA 2K25's MyCAREER mode. Mark, thanks so much for joining us and sharing all this great insight.
Yeah, thanks to you, Chris.
And for all of you, stay tuned for more courtside reports on NBA 2K25.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see a lot of W's in the chat. Everyone's super excited. MyCOURT is officially back. Super happy about that one. I see you guys are happy too. I remember the first time I found out it was back. I was the same as y'all, man. The entire video we just seen, Courtside Report, man, was amazing. A lot of information there. And that's why I feel like you really got to pay attention to what's going on in the words that's being said and not just look at graphics and look at, other things like that. You really got to listen or read up on the Courtside Report to get all of the information you guys are looking for. But I'm super excited about MyCOURT.
There is actually an entire sections, I should say, of stuff in our blog that wasn't in the video that we're about to go through now with you. But yeah, we've got an awesome builder in 2K25. There's great improvements in there that address your community feedback, a new takeover system, and the MyCAREER improvements that you all saw, like high school and FIBA. So there's plenty more information, but before we get into it, remember again, this MyPlayer and MyCAREER Courtside Report is about NBA 2K25 on New Gen, which is for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Can we bring up the webpage now, producers? Great. So this Courtside Report is going to be on the NBA 2K website in just a second, both the blog and the video you just watched. So if you don't get enough right now by watching us go through it and you want to read it again to make sure you get all the details, you can jump in yourself and we will put the link in the chat at the end of the show. So Stax, you want to go through this with me? What do you want to know first?
Yes, sir. Look, man, I think first and foremost, let's just take it all in. Everything we just heard, and by the way, we're going to be going over in detail with a lot more things that wasn't fully discussed in the Courtside Report, so you're going to get a little bit more detail, so make sure you guys stick around for that. But just like me, just like you, just like everyone that plays our game, when they hop into MyCAREER, the first thing they see is the builder. Well, let's start with the builder. Let's get some information on that.
That is a good place to start. I know many of you are celebrating MyCOURT and all that. We will get there soon. But so our dev team, really pays attention to the builder every year, right? It's the most important step for the very first thing you do before you start your career. So they spend a lot of time ensuring that you have all the tools necessary to build just the right player for you with more customization and over 100 new possible archetypes. So you can create your own build, make it from scratch, do something unique, or starting with season 2, I'm very happy that community build templates is back. We first added these last year with awesome templates from build makers like Solo and Shakedown, who some of you saw actually made the list of top used templates in NBA 2K24 that was shared a few weeks ago. But once you're in the builder, as Zach said, you have access to more information than ever before. You can preview your badges, your takeovers in the new takeover system, and signature animations. And one cool area that got an upgrade this year is the build tester. So once you have a build you like, most of you go in the build tester to try it out. This year, you'll see an equip screen where you can see all the signature animations your build has the potential to unlock, as well as customizing jump shots and dunk packages for you to test in the tester. Like last year, the tester has 3v3 or 5v5 games, but there's also a new freestyle practice option to experiment without teammates or opponents getting in your way. And you can do all of this within the builder before you even step foot in the city to make sure you can have a full preview of what your build is going to be like.
Hey, that's a W, man. I didn't even know that, honestly. So having that freedom to be able to practice, because sometimes, man, you want to go up against some other people on the court, of course, to test out your build a little bit. But the fact that we can equip animations and now also have that free practice to test out a jumper, to test out certain things is amazing. I know that's going to save a lot of people a lot of time, just being able to do that in the builder before you even fully commit to that build. So that is amazing. I'm super happy about that. That's all right. Anyway, so I noticed in the builder too, and I've noticed a lot of people in the chat noticed as well. There's an attribute called agility. What is that, Evan? Let's break that down a little bit.
Yeah, let's explain that. But also, it's Metris in the chat said, 2K, you are finally making me proud. I am glad we are. And thank you for watching. But good eye for all of you who noticed agility. There are now 5 physical attributes in the builder. So we have speed with ball. That's in the playmaking category as it's usually been. Speed. Then we have agility, strength, and vertical. So what you'll notice is stamina is not there anymore. That is now earned through Gatorade gym workouts. And each MyPlayer starts off with an 85 stamina. And doing a workout adds 2 stamina attribute points regardless of your workout result. You don't have to get 3 stars. Regardless of your workout result, you'll get 2 stamina attribute points. And you can do 4 workouts each week. So if we do the math, 2 times 4, that means you can get up to 8 stamina points each week. Now, don't worry. Once any of your MyPlayers reaches a 99 stamina, it is permanent. So you go from 85 to 99 with 7 workouts, then it's permanent. And once you have done all 12 unique workouts in the Gatorade gym, you will unlock Workout Warrior, which gives you 99 stamina, a permanent turbo meter boost, and all of your unlocked body types across all new and existing saves, which is something that I heard many of you asking for this past year. Now that was a lot of info right there, so if you didn't get it all just now, I do suggest after the show, go and read the blog and you can read everything I just said one more time. Now, you asked about agility. So in NBA 2K24, the acceleration attribute determined your dribble launching and off-ball movement, but in NBA 2K25, dribble launching is now determined solely by the speed with ball attribute. And then comes in agility, which is the new attribute, and that's going to determine your defensive lateral movement, off-ball launches, and off-ball cuts. So that kind of simplifies things here, makes it very clear which attribute is affecting which parts of your game.
All right, man. Evan, again, a lot of great information. If you want to know more on that stuff, make sure you hit up the courtside report to get even more in depth than what we're talking about right now. One of my favorite things about that is the new stamina system. I really like that. Unlocking body types for all builds. Huge W. I know a lot of people in the chat love that as well. But next, I heard Zach talking about the all new takeover system. It looked kind of crazy, not gonna lie. When I was looking at it, I'm like, what is this? So let's get into the thick of it with that as well, man. Let's hear about it.
All right, so I know Zach talked about it, but it does work really differently this year, so we want to go through it one more time. This year, as you fill your takeover meter, you'll gradually boost the targeted attributes of each takeover through a total of 5 levels of hotness, as Zach said. This is very different from last year, where you had to manually activate takeover. Now it happens automatically as you perform well. So Zach said one of his favorites is barbecue chicken, and as you can see here, once you hit level 5, it has the deep post bag takeover ability to activate. And I think I saw many of you in the chat asking, did Zach say 17 or 70? He did say 70. There are 72 takeovers this year. Now, initially, you will only have access to levels 1 to 3 here. And you unlock levels 4 and 5, each by activating the previous level a set amount of games. And don't worry, we know you're about to ask, takeover level unlocks do carry over between saves.
Fire. Evan, I feel like we're getting hit with a bunch of heat right now. By the way, Evan memorized everything that he's saying. He's not reading off anything. He's literally memorized all this information. He just downloaded
Evan GPTs, right? That's all I got.
So people have been asking me this whole week about badges, and we got a little sneak peek of the badges, Evan. But Zach explained it, and we want a full list. So can we get a full list? Let's see what the badges are.
Yeah, we can show a full list. But before we do that, I just want to emphasize a point Zach said. This year, your MyPlayer's badges are progressed by activating each badge in games, which kind of matches your playstyle on the court, right? But the change is badge progress can only increase and does not decrease, even if you don't use a badge. I just want to make sure everybody heard that part. Your badge progress can only increase and does not drop, even if you don't use it. So with that said, let's show all 40 badges now on the screen. There are a lot here. I'm not expecting you to read all 40 right now. And don't worry, it is in the blog. So after the show, go to the Courtside Report blog and you can see all 40 badges here, or you can screenshot it now and read it later on your phone. But Zach and our dev team ensured every area of basketball was complemented with useful badges in this new system of 40, so that every play style has different ways to stand out. There's fewer badges that activate in only very specific situations. So for example, this year, Shifty Shooter that you see there covers all off the dribble shooting, and then Set Shot Specialist covers all standing shooting. So it's a much more simple system this year that I think many people will appreciate. But Stax, what are some of your favorites?
Some of my favorites, I like Lightning Launch. First of all, I'm gonna just talk about some newer ones, because obviously I love ones like Deadeye, Limitless Range, but Lightning Launch, I really like that one. Also, I like Layup Mixmaster. That one, I just really like the name of that one. Also, another one, Versatile Visionary. That one sounds cold as well, man. But I feel like we got a lot of cool badges. Shifty Shooter is one I'm definitely gonna have equipped on my build as soon as I make it. I'm looking forward to using that badge a lot too.
Likewise.
Yes, sir. But anyway, next we're gonna talk about the badge perks, and let's see what's going on with badge perks, Evan.
Yep, so this was something else not in the video. There are 3 new badge perks, and remember, these badge perks modify the progression of individual badges that you equip them on. So each perk has 2 slots available to unlock, because there's 2 tiers of badges this year determined by your MyPlayer's height. So let's read the descriptions. I'm going to pull up the blog actually and read these word for word so I don't mess anything up. But the first one is called Max Plus 1. What this does is it boosts a badge 1 level above its max potential. You must progress a badge to its max potential before equipping this perk. These are unlocked at level 15 for a tier 2 badge slot and level 30 for a tier 1 badge in each season. And at the end of the season, your badges equipped with Max Plus 1 will revert to their original level. That's the first one. Then we've got one called Participation. So badges equipped with this perk will earn a flat base rate amount of progression each game, regardless of how many times they're activated. So if you really want a badge, but you might not use it that much, you can equip it with Participation perk, and you'll get a flat progression even if you don't use it. Then we have Synergy. So badges equipped with this perk will receive progression when your teammates earn progression using the same badge. And just a note here, Participation and Synergy are both earned through rotating season rewards. So again, if you did not get everything I just said, that is in the blog. I pulled the blog right up to read that whole thing for you right now. So if you want to see it again yourself, you can go to the blog and read it there.
So Evan, so what you're saying is for you, no offense, not the greatest shooter on the court. Let's be honest here. You can activate the Synergy badge perk for, let's say, maybe Limitless Range, and as long as I'm knocking down shots from Limitless Range, you'll gain progress towards your Limitless Range badge as well.
Precisely. And honestly, I think I'm going to take full advantage of that. I'm going to be asking you to play with me all the time so that I can get my shooting badges, because I cannot get those up, man. All I can do is sit in the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. That is fire. I really love that. So since badge progression can't drop your badges anymore, I know a lot of people, I was happy to hear that. So I know a lot of people in the chat was happy to hear that. That means floor setters must be gone, right? Is that true? Is there anything like that this year? Anything we got to look forward to like that?
So no floor setters, but we do have something new called badge elevators, and these can permanently boost an individual badge up to 3 levels within its max potential. So let's say your badge is currently at bronze, but it has a max potential of legend. With the badge elevator, you can immediately boost it up to 3 levels, from bronze to silver to gold to Hall of Fame. And these elevators will be available to unlock throughout the year from season level rewards. And to keep things balanced though, the badge elevators earned in the first 4 seasons can boost your badges up to 2 levels, and then the ones you earn in seasons 5 to 8 can boost your badges up to 3 levels.
I'm liking what I'm seeing, Evan. I'm liking what I'm hearing. You can boost those badges up. Super excited about that, man. But what's this about cap breakers, Evan? When I hear the word cap breaker, Evan, it makes me feel like I really need to be in my bag and really need to pay attention to what's going on inside that builder. Are we breaking caps? Is that what's happening?
Well, we did save the best for last, in my opinion. We saw community feedback that you all wanted a way to not only increase your attribute ratings above their caps that you set when you make your build, which was previously possible, but you wanted that to also use those increased ratings and contribute towards your animation, badge, and takeover attribute requirements. And that is exactly what cap breakers do. So let's say, for example, your ball handle attribute is maxed out at an 85. You can apply 2 cap breakers to play with an 87 ball handle, and then that 87 also unlocks any access to animations, badges, or takeovers that requires an 87 ball handle rating. But before you get worried, there are a few restrictions to ensure this stays balanced. So I'm going to pull the blog up again. This is in the blog. These are the restrictions for cap breakers. Each attribute can only be increased a maximum of +5 above its cap. So you can't use this as kind of like a cheat code to get from a really low rating to a really high one. You can use a cap breaker on an attribute up to its max potential rating allowed by your build's height, weight, and wingspan, which is shown in the MyPlayer Builder while allocating your potential. So this is what it's talking about, is when you're deciding where to put your attributes to add up to 99 when you're first making your build. As many of you know, there's a cap based on your MyPlayer's body dimensions. So the maximum your cap breaker can take you is the maximum there. And lastly, you must progress an attribute to its max potential rating before applying a cap breaker. There are a total of 15 cap breakers that you can earn, and these are all earned through rep rewards, which we will talk about more in a few weeks. But for now, only cap breakers. But I think that's big news for many of you. I've seen so much feedback about this the past year, so I'm glad that our dev team was able to make it happen for you all, to have cap breakers that affect your animation and signature animation requirements.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now let's go ahead. We got a lot of information about MyPlayer, the builder, badges, caps, attributes, animate, all this stuff. Let's move on now to some MyCAREER. Evan, what's new in MyCAREER?
Yep, so first up, as Mark said, and I think many of you were excited about this, there is an optional flashback story called Heart of the Dynasty, and that includes your Club League Showcase game, your high school championship game, which I saw a lot of fun reactions there, the FIBA Under-19 World Cup, and an open run with NBA players. Now, as Mark said, that is all optional, but what's cool about this is that doing this is how you unlock the MyPoints Accelerator this year, and that increases your MyPoints progression by 5% to help you unlock new attribute upgrades more quickly. So especially at the start of the year when it's your first build, your first save, I definitely do recommend going through this. Go play a high school game, your FIBA game, and then before you go into your NBA career or the city, whichever one you're going to next.
See Jalen Brunson right there in the back. See him. All right, man. So that's really cool. I know that's for me as a person that loves to play my career, having those options and being able to play high school FIBA, all that stuff is really cool. But moving on, it said Mark said the #1 spot on the Dynasty Rankings is, of course, the Michael Jordan's Bulls, and that sounds about right to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Golden State is right up under that. What you got to say about that, Evan? I mean, I know what type of guy you are. I know who you're gonna claim, but I don't think bro got real dynasties like that. But anyway, go ahead.
Everybody in the chat knows what I'm going to say. LeBron's dynasty was his entire run. Look at all those finals he went to. That whole thing should count as a dynasty. I know he didn't win every year, but that whole thing that should count as a dynasty. That's just my opinion. But yes, our dev team has ranked the 9 greatest dynasties in NBA history, and it is your goal in my career to go from a bench player to the starting lineup, become a superstar, and then lead your team to become an all-time dynasty and take that #1 spot from MJ's Bulls.
Interesting. What do you think are the other ones on there? If you had to guess.
I'm pretty sure Steph Curry and the Warriors are on here as a dynasty as well, and I think that's going to be a popular one, especially for a lot of people right now.
I think maybe the Spurs will probably be there. Spurs had a nice run.
Maybe. I have not seen the full list, so we're theorizing with you all in the chat right now.
Magic. Anyway, before we start wrapping up, one of the things I heard about way early on, way long ago, when we would start gearing up for announce, MyCOURT is back. MyCOURT, Evan. MyCOURT. Talk about it, man. This is probably one of the most requested things the dev has probably heard since moving to new gen. MyCOURT, Evan. MyCOURT. Tell me about it, Evan. Tell me, man.
Well, unfortunately, I can't say much more than Mark did just there. So he did tease this. He said when you do jersey swaps with other NBA players in MyCAREER, which is an awesome, cool new feature on its own, you can swap jerseys with people, I believe, like Jalen Brunson. I got to confirm that one.
Yeah. I need that.
When you do your jersey swaps, you can actually display those jerseys in your MyCOURT. This has been one of the most asked questions I've seen, not just this past week since we revealed our gameplay, but also the last few years on the new gen versions of NBA 2K. So this is an amazing thing. I see everybody in the chat is happy about this. We will talk more about this later in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, we did ask the team to give us a few more of their favorites for the blog. So we got 2 more cool ones for you here on the stream. If you enter the Hall of Fame in your career, you will get the famous Hall of Fame orange jacket for your MyPlayer, which our cover athlete Vince Carter now has. And you can also wear that around the city. So it's not just for a cutscene, you get the jacket and you can wear that jacket around in the city. And last but certainly not least, I know there's many of you out here that play single player NBA career games as your main mode. And we're excited to say that Season XP can now be earned from NBA career games as well. So XP is not exclusive to multiplayer online modes. You can earn it just by playing MyCAREER games in your NBA career. And I think that's going to be welcome news to many of you in the chat.
Not gonna lie, that's a huge W. This is my first time hearing that. That right there is amazing. Because I love to play online, but a lot of people know my roots is playing MyCAREER offline, you know, MyCAREER stuff. And so that is amazing. The fact that I can hit level 40 hooping on LeBron James. That's fire. Super excited about that, man. But yeah, it was a lot said today. We went over so much today. A lot of new stuff to process. Oh man, I'm super excited. See, when things like this happen, it just make me just want to hop in the time machine and advance to the launch of the game. I'm happy. I'm ready to go through it. Make sure you guys also check out the Courtside Report blog yourself. There's a lot of information there that we didn't talk about. The devs didn't talk about LD in the video. So make sure you go check that out for yourself. Also, if you still have questions, things that wasn't answered here, make sure you go to our Discord and go to our 2K25 questions channel and our Discord to go ahead and ask your questions there. And hopefully, you know, some of your questions may be answered in there as well. Our Discord should be on the screen. That's discord.gg/NBA2K. Make sure you get in there. Go to the 2K25 questions channel. Ask your questions there. And also, just a reminder too, make sure you keep your questions on topic. Last week when we opened up our questions channel, And we have Mike weighing in there answering some of the questions. A lot of the questions you guys were asking wasn't about gameplay. That's what gameplay was all about last week. So make sure you try to keep your questions on topic this week. All right, that's all I'm asking. Keep your questions on topic. If you have my team questions, don't worry. My team will be coming up soon. If you have questions about the W, questions about my NBA, don't worry. Those will be coming up soon. But for right now, let's keep all of the questions focused on the MyPlayer, and MyCAREER, okay? I would really appreciate that, but make sure you join our Discord.
Exactly. Please do that. Please do what Stax said. Ask questions about either what you heard last week or today. No my team questions just yet. If we could pull up the roadmap, my NBA and the W is where we're going next. That's going to be next week, so stay tuned for that. And also, before we let you go, we do want to just give one more reminder that we have early tip-off for NBA 2K25. So if you get NBA 2K25 before September 6th, you can play up to 2 days early on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One and PC. Now, very last thing, I know many of you are at 99%. I see in the chat on your Twitch drops, which means you are right about completing it. If you do complete your 90 minutes across last Thursday's and today's Road to NBA 2K25 streams, you should get a notification within Twitch that takes you to your Twitch inventory. Make sure you claim your reward there. That's super important. You have to go to your Twitch inventory and hit the claim button there before anything else. Then after that, head over to the website that you see on the bottom of our screen right now, nba.2k.com/twitch-drops. And on that page, you'll click the login to Twitch button. After you log in, that page will refresh and you will see the locker code you've earned.
All right, man. There was another one, man. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Another very informative stream. Super excited for what's to come next. Like I said, I'm ready to hop in my time machine, Evan. I'm trying to play the game right now.
We're almost there.
I'm trying to get out there on the court. I'm trying to test some builds. I'm trying to do it all, man. And I know everybody in the chat is excited, just as excited as I am. Evan, what are you most looking forward to with this new news that we heard about MyPlayer and MyCAREER?
I mean, I'll give the easy answer. MyCOURT. I cannot wait for that. Can't talk about it, but I can't wait for MyCOURT. And beyond that, the badge system, just having more refined badges. I'll be honest, I was starting to get a little lost in how all the different badges I had to remember, and having 40 and making sure each one has something of value that for your player and play style, I think is really important. So those are new changes that I like the most. Go through the blog. I hope everybody has something there that they enjoy and will be able to improve their experience for this upcoming year, whether it's in the builder, badges, takeover, or MyCAREER.
Yes, sir, man. I gotta agree with you, Evan. Super excited for the builder. I mean, super excited for MyCOURT. But one of the things that I'm probably most excited for starting out my career and creating my MyPlayer is the fact that we have like a free practice mode, and we can choose our animations like during the process before we even select and finalize the build. I think that is super clutch, and I feel like it's going to be one of those details that like after a while people are going to get so used to it, but they're going to forget how it was before. Like, it's so convenient that you don't realize how much it makes your life easier when making your build, and after a while people are going to take it for granted. So I really want you guys to appreciate that, because as we know right now, we can't do that, and it's something, we can't test the animation. We can't just go out there, just dribble by ourselves on the court. So make sure you guys really do appreciate that, because that's something I think is going to be really fun and really huge. But with that being said, man, we're going to
dev team there. But Stax, thank you for stalling for the chat. I think everybody has got a couple extra percentage points, so hope you all are completing your 90 minutes now. But with that said, that is all I got. Stax, anything else?
Yes, sir. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you guys pull up tomorrow. We're going to be live again tomorrow with the logo gauntlet. So make sure you guys pull up. You're not going to miss that either. And that's about it, man. Go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you guys stick around. We're going to raid somebody after this. Appreciate you guys so much for showing so much support. We out. Peace.
See y'all.